Hello, children. Are you ready for some cutting up and kikiing? Are you ready for a gay old time? Well, I hope you are, because now it's time for Hey Qween with your host, Jonny McGovern.
Hey Qween, come on and spill the tea. Hey Qween, it's just a good old-fashioned kiki. Hey Qween, we're cutting up with Jonny. Hey, 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 hey Qween.
Hello, my wonderful Cabbage Snatch dolls, and welcome to another bouncing and behaving episode of Hey Qween, with me, your host, Jonny McGovern. Today's show is going to be stupendous, my children. We have greatness in the house. Yes, we do. Our guest today is one of the Great Lakes. From season 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race, I present to you the incomparable Miss Darienne Lake is here. But before she flows on out here, there's another queen we need to discuss. She gives greatness as well. If she were a Great Lake, why, she'd be Lake Mother Superior. She's the ketchup to the French fries of my existence. And like a Trader Joe's parking lot, she's large, has many nooks and crannies, and is very complicated to navigate. It's Miss Lady Red Couture! Yay! Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Qween.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Well, wait.
All right, girl, look at you.
We are wearing the same outfit-ish.
Yes-ish.
Well, we're both wearing beautiful shirts from Kakor and Macho.
I mean, they do give a good Gandora. Yes, honey.
Well, you're wearing the Grace Jones cunt.
Yes, cunt.
And I am wearing Divine Filth.
Filth. Yes!
Thank you very much, Kakor and Macho, for our matchy outfits.
Yeah.
Nothing we like better than doing a matching.
Twinsies.
We're both big and we like big stuff.
We do.
And we will match the shit out of something.
I mean, why not?
We'll match at the airport.
Yes.
Then we always find each other.
Oh.
I'm looking for a large black woman dressed exactly like me. Got a problem with that? You got a problem with that?
True. It's so true. They never have a problem.
No.
Ever. They be like,
No.
yeah, let me go get her.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I'll be like, that's my wife. Now, please go find my wife. My wife is going to need an extra seat.
Whenever he says that, it's the funniest thing. The faces on people, they're like, okay, sir, let me help you. And
That's
then
right.
they start working real fast. It's the
Yes,
greatest
they did.
thing.
Okay, all right. Because they're processing.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, that's a big couple. I'm pretty sure that lady is a man. Just don't make it. They're all afraid for their life. They're afraid for their life that they're going to say the wrong
They
thing.
just like, never mind.
So that's why I like to call you my wife when we do traveling.
They never.
My wife needs that. Because then they start to imagine what our big, gigantic life is like together. And then they wonder, like, what's going on in the bedroom? And then they're like, then they're like, here's your emergency exit row.
Here you
Because
go.
you blew our minds.
Whatever y'all need.
You blew our minds, you big motherfuckers.
Did you want extra blankets?
My wife is going to need extra blankets. We're wearing matching cunty shirts. Well, we have a very glamorous show here today.
Yes.
One of the greatest lakes of all time is here.
That girl is gorgeous.
Yes, Miss Darienne Lake is finally here on Hey Qween. Yay! And she's going to be with us right after this very gay break. Well, she is a season 6 favorite who has remained a fan favorite from then till now. And finally, we got her big, beautiful self in the studio. It's my favorite lake of all, Darienne Lake. Yay! Hello, Queen.
Hi. Thank you for having me here.
Honey,
Been wanting for
so excited to finally get you.
Well, thank you. I was been traveling the world and doing my thing and raising my credit score and so I'm here now and things are great.
They're shiny and bright, and I'm obsessed with your tits right now. They're
This
just
one or that one?
really.
This one or that one?
Ooh, they're moving. They're shaking and moving and shaking.
Yeah, what do you
moving.
bunch, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, got them gains. Down boys. Yeah. So I didn't wear a corset because otherwise it's like
I know, because you would have just.
toothpaste. Yeah. I'm like, hi. Surfboard. So yeah. Thank you though. You know, these are all natural, 100% prime beef. This is not like a tit bib. You know,
It's not a tit bib.
Doesn't smell like Band-Aids and old condoms. This smells like Barbasol.
Oh,
So,
yes. Omaha Steak sent you the full meat, honey. Lady Red, look who we got in the studio finally here.
Hey, look at her, honey. You know I love a BBW on our couch.
Yes. So, Miss Lake, how has everything been going?
Things have been really just phenomenal. I think, you know, my life sort of took like a 180. You know, before the show, getting on RuPaul's Drag Race, I was getting to a point in my career that I've been doing drag for so long that I was like, well, is this it? You know, you have your ups, your downs, and then this whole thing happens in this whirlwind. And not just that, but also on a personal level, because it had been such a, like, I went into it on the show about the struggle with my parents. And my mom really was the hardest one to come around.
Right.
You know? My dad, when he found out I was gay, he was like, it's not my dick. I don't care what you do with it. He's like, I'm afraid you're going to get AIDS or something. But it was like, you know, I came out in the 90s.
Right.
So everything was like AIDS. I could die in a plane crash and people would be like, was it AIDS related?
It was AIDS.
No, it was a plane crash. Well, did she die of AIDS on the plane? You know, so.
That's sad, but really true.
Yeah, I know, it was. And like, I'm so glad that we finally like kind of broke out of that stigma a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So, of course, now it's, you know, is it drugs? It's just, it's one thing after another. But with my mom, she got to a point where she's starting to see like, oh, that's why you're doing it. This is entertainment value. It's not like some sick, perverted. She used to be like, are you doing that weird stuff, that kinky stuff, that, the weird,
The
queer.
cross-dressing?
Yeah. She didn't understand it. She had no idea. And so, after the show, she's gotten so comfortable, and now she, you know, because we were always like a don't ask, don't tell.
Right.
And my sisters had a deep talk with her about like, you're still excluding him. And
Wow.
And if you notice, like at family functions, he's always off, you know, with, you know, by himself or whatever. And she was like, I don't want him to feel that way. So she's totally turned now to the point where she thinks she can make jokes about it. And I'm like, calm down, lady, you know. So it's really been phenomenal. You know, she asked me, because for me, I was always fine with the whole don't ask, don't tell, because like. I was like, okay, it's not her thing. I get it. Like, I'm not into football, so I don't watch it. You know, she's
Right.
not into drag queens, so she doesn't, you know. But now it's really a great understanding, so.
Was that because you were on TV that she felt pressure from the outside to accept it, or she finally actually saw what you did and how much pleasure it was bringing to people?
I think that it wasn't because it was on TV. I think it was finally enough was enough, and she had to sort of face that, like, let's have a discussion about this.
Right.
You know, and, you know, I think the producers of the show even reached out to her to really find out exactly what had happened in our past. And my sisters had talked to her. I have 2 older brothers and 2 younger sisters. So I always sort of felt like somewhere in the middle, just not really, you know, not cool enough to hang out with my older brothers and not like, I don't know, girly enough to hang out with my sisters. And so my sisters and I have always been close. And they really were instrumental in helping my mom sort of understand about life and about people and about, you know, about love. So,
Right.
you know.
So now the show has not only made you worldwide famous, but brought your family
I know.
actually closer together.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I've been able, like, especially after the show, there was a huge sort of craziness with the way that it turned out, and a lot of people thought I was like a bitch on the show.
Oh my
And
God,
so-
you got so much. I mean, when I was
yeah.
doing my research
Yeah.
to look back
my
and
God.
remember,
Yeah.
it was just like I went into the Reddit threads, and it
that's-
was like,
so much fun.
I was like,
they were
really
Oh my
coming
God.
for you.
I know, and not once have I gotten an apology since. No, but I probably deserved it. But it was great. Like, I was traveling the world and having people call me a bitch to my face everywhere. I'm like, if I wanted this kind of thing, I'd stay at home and talk to my mom. But No, it's been great because there's so many people who are like, you know what, I get it. I get your sense of humor. You know, sort of like the grumpy old lady, you know, trashy Aunt Barbara. You know, that's why I'm like dressed like this from like the 1970s cruise ship.
Yes.
You know, bordello. I was very inspired by the big Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Oh, yes, it's very much that.
So, yeah.
Hey Qween has a whorehouse in it. Darienne Lake is the queen of them all. Lady Red, you know that musical?
No.
Yeah.
No? Oh my goodness, I got a role for you in that.
I think we should have like movie nights of like, you know, the young people like yourself, you know.
Lady Red, she just called you young.
I like that.
You know, I gotta start off nice.
Start off nice and then get spicy.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that there's so many things. Like I was talking about the movie Beaches, because the first song I ever did was Otto Titzling from the movie Beaches.
Right.
And someone's like, I've never seen that movie. And I was like, well, with Bette Midler. And she went, who? And I was like, I'm gonna hold my drink. I'm gonna kill somebody.
Right. Exactly.
You know, so there's so much that, you know, we have to learn and teach, and that's part of our job, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's been kind of a thing that you've done throughout your drag career, is you've been someone guiding and mothering young drag artists, including Miss Pandora Box herself.
Exactly. I remember, like, she was really asking for advice and help, and I told her, you suck, quit now. And, yeah, but we
And she didn't listen.
She hasn't, no. Yeah, because when she first came out on the scene and I first saw her in drag, she was painted up by somebody who hated her.
No, really?
Because they were dating the same boy at the same time.
Oh my God.
Things were quite hilarious. And
now that's a great bet. Lady Red, have you ever done that to anybody? Where you paint them to be evil?
No.
Really? No. See, she's a good woman. She's a good woman over there.
I've never done that.
Never.
And so I walked into the room and I saw her and I was like, oh. And she's like, oh, isn't that bad? And I was like, oh, honey, we can fix it. And then I'm like trying to fix it and paint her better. And okay, just like tilt your head back and close your eyes like this. Like, okay, like close your eyes more. And oh yeah, I see it. I'm like turning the lights off. Yeah, okay, I feel pretty. And then she would always come to my house and to my apartment, and I'd paint her face before she'd go out and stuff. And I was painting her for like 2 years. And at one point, you know, we had moved in together, and then we were like Lucy and Ethel of Rochester.
Wow.
You know, just crazy and doing stupid stuff. And, you know, I've, like, at that point, I had, like, I talked about on the show, on RuPaul's Drag Race, that I was, you know, invited to leave my house or kicked out as you were.
Right.
And, you know, I had to do whatever I had to do. You know, part-time jobs and telemarketing and living on people's couches and sleeping in living rooms. And then I had my own apartment. And then I saw this new group of like drag queens sort of coming out. So I wanted to like give back and help them on their journey. And so Pandora would come to my house and we would have so much fun. And there was this other little drag queen who wanted to move in with me. And Pandora was like, well, I have a job at Blockbuster Video, so I can afford the rent. And I was like, oh, okay, I need a roommate, so come on, move in.
Right.
So,
and then Lucy and Ethel of Rochester were born.
It's true.
And how long did you guys live together?
Gosh, we lived together probably for about 3 years or so. And then it was like around 1994, and I was like 4. And my mother... She started talking to me, and she's like, "What are you doing with your life? Are you doing the kinky stuff? You know what? You know, you the stupid jobs. Like, don't you want to have something in your life?" And I was like, "I want to go to hair school. I want to, you know, have a creative outlet other than drag." And so she's like, "Well, if you want, so you can live somewhere rent free, we'll let you move into the basement. You know, and you can live here, but none of that kinky stuff, none of that weird stuff."
Huh.
So I would, so I moved into the basement, and then for drag nights, I would throw my stuff out the window and then run around the bushes and collect it, and then I'll be back later. And so I always had to make sure that...
get into the story. I don't want to I don't want to just dash over this story because you moved back in with your mom into the basement, but she didn't want that kinky stuff.
Yeah, the kinky stuff.
So you tell me the whole, get into the details because that is good.
Yeah, she definitely was not into the drag. She had no idea what it was. You know, she thought I was dressing like a woman so I could go into the ladies' bathroom.
Right.
And you know,
Do whatever.
Who knows, whatever.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, I've been in the ladies' bathroom. They're filthy half the time. I was in the ladies' bathroom at RuPaul's Drag Con, and girls are like, can I get a photo? And I'm like, we're in the bathroom.
Yes, that's the worst time when people ask for a photo in the bathroom.
And then I read on Reddit, I met Darienne Lake in the bathroom. She was a bitch.
She was not a bitch.
Okay, fine. So I was living in the basement and going to hair school, and Pandora, I was like, well, I'm gonna move home and go to hair school. And she's like, that's a great idea, I wanna go too. And so me and her and my other good friend Arlie, we all went to hair school together.
Wow.
And we were just having this great time. So we'd be doing the shows at night, and sometimes I would leave stuff at Pandora's house, and I would have stuff in like duffel bags and under the bed and hiding places that my mom would never look, like the liquor cabinet, because she was a very straight-laced, very good Catholic, you know.
She opens up the liquor cabinet. She's like,
I know, she's like,
what is this? Oh my.
Yeah, it was crazy. You know, I would take like my panties and like, you know, put them on the bed and stuff, and you know, so.
Wait, you put him on the bed as a comforter?
Yeah, like as a fitted sheet.
As a fitted sheet.
Yeah. So, you know, I sleep on a drag queen size bed. The sheets tuck themselves, and so yeah, I was like trying to lead this like secret double life and stuff. So I felt very like my Wonder Woman fantasy.
I
You know, Diana
know.
Prince is becoming, you know, Wonder Woman at night, and so yeah, I would wait until, you know, they went to bed. She'd go to bed after Cosby or whatever, and so yeah, I'd take my stuff and throw it out the window, and or we had like a back door and stuff, and she could always see from her bedroom the back door, so I'd throw it out the side window and then be like, let me sneak around and let me get my drag out of the bushes, and
My God.
yeah, and then I would like, you know, run out, and when I would come home late at night, like I would turn the car off and just roll down the cul-de-sac, you know, with the lights off and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, good times.
Darienne, the 90s were you were very subversive in your own home. I love
It
it.
was crazy. It was crazy. And then we would come up with stupid ideas to do things, because we were like, oh my God, we can be famous if we just get on TV. So Pandora called me up one day. And she was dating this boy. His name was Michael as well. And so it was Michael, and Pandora's boyfriend at the time also did drag, and his name was Stella Dora.
Okay.
Like the cookies, stale. And so he's like, so we're watching TV, and we saw this advertisement for the Ricky Lake show, and you know we don't feel this way about you, but there's a topic called "You're too fat to be a drag queen."
Yes.
Would you be offended? I was like, oh my God, we can be famous. We can be on TV. Let's do it. And so I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be stars. We're gonna get, you know, recognized. And I was like, you know, I was famous of like at the Olive Garden or something.
Well,
you
you agree to do it. You know that I was on the Ricky Lake for the whole last year of that show.
You were.
I was like one of her little side people that came on every show. So I'm very familiar with this area.
I was busy going to hair school and working 2 jobs. Didn't have time for TV.
So you guys decide you're gonna get on the Ricky Lake episode.
Yeah.
What do you have to send in a tape or just call?
No, so she had called, and then they had called me, and they were like, well, you want your friend to, you know, come out. And here's the thing, the topic is, I'm like, oh, really? And, you know, I had to play it up like I was really offended and everything, and I'm a good actress. So I was just like, that fucking bitch, and she's been doing drag for like 2 years, like, what the fuck? So I was, you know, very
So you had to act backstage with the producers that
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
really mad.
Yeah, and
Because it was
so-
like, hey, doll, you're too fat to be a queen or something
you're too
like
fat
that.
to be a drag queen. And it's funny, too, is because, like, all the fat queens, so, like, me and Dina Cass, legendary Dina Cass, she's still, you know, rocking the fucking stages and pageant world and all that kind of stuff. She's still doing drag. All the people that brought us on the show, like Stella Dora, where's she now?
Right.
knows? I don't
Where's that skinny bitch?
I know she's probably just living her life, you know. She's probably like, I don't know, happy somewhere. But it was such a fun experience to do, and you know, get sort of like the ins and outs and backstage sort of.
Your first taste of reality TV, really, which
Yeah.
later became your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Now, were you offended while you were on the show? You guys were all just acting the whole time.
Yeah, we were pretty much acting and stuff, and like I knew that like. You know, I'm not oblivious to the fact that I know it's not healthy to be heavy, you know, otherwise I would change it. You know, I've tried so many different times. Back around the turn of the century, you know, I can say that now because, like, you know, 1999, and I was like really into the Atkins diet, lost like over 100 pounds. I was doing great. I was like, but then I got thinner and I looked at myself and I was like, okay, I hate the skin on my body. I hate everything. And I was not getting that whole love yourself thing. I'm like, no, I hate myself because I hate the way I look. And I didn't get that connection. I was like, you know, and so I was like, well, I'm just gonna eat pizza again. And apparently I'm allergic to carbs. I just blow up like a pufferfish.
She's having an allergic reaction. I think I might be having the same reaction. That lady ran too.
It's the sugar will get you. And you know, it's you know, and every New Year's Eve, people are like always criticizing the fat people who are there. Oh, you're in my way. You're just a New Year's resolutioner. I'll see you in like 2 weeks when you're no longer in the gym. I'm like, how about a little encouragement for somebody?
Exactly.
You know, how about a little love?
I agree. Well, we're going to hear more from Darienne about her start in drag, all of the secrets from the set of RuPaul's Drag Race, and what Drag Race star she's touring the country with a new 2-woman show when we come back. Hey Queens, thanks for watching. For part 2 of this interview, click here. For more Hey Qween fabulousness, click here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.